Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video of Geeked on Science. And today we are going to learn about plant and animal cells, organelles, and structures. So if you guys remember last video, I taught you guys about the cell function and structure, and we briefly touched upon the different organelles. And in this video, if you guys haven't realized yet, we are going to basically just go in depth about the organelles and the different organelles in the plant and animal cells based on the title, if you guys haven't figured that out yet. So without further ado, let's get right into it, guys. So what is an organelle in the first place? We briefly covered this in the last video, but here's the actual definition. Organelles are a subcellular structure that has one or more jobs to perform in the cell. Each one is very important and specific to the cell. So what that means is basically just each organelle has a job, and they're just saying that in fancy terms. And subcellular structure is just a structure that's in the cell, so subcellular. And if you guys haven't realized by the definition, each one is very important, but they are also defined to the cell. So each cell has a different job to do, and its subcellular structures, aka the organelles, accomplish that job based on different ways. So let's look at the types of organelles now, shall we? So what's the first and outermost organelle? A cell membrane. This is found in both plant and animal cells. However, both cells do have different structures in the membrane. And the cell membrane is like a guard. If you guys have ever been to the mall, there's certain guards at the entrances, and if too many people go in, then they let only certain people to go in and certain people to come out. So that's basically kind of what the cell membrane is. It only lets certain molecules in and out of the cell. This helps regulate the internal environment, also called homeostasis. So the cell wall. This is the outermost part, and it's only found in plant cells. This also adds an extra layer of protection and gives a structure to the plant, since plants don't have bones like us. And the cell wall is made of very strong materials that can keep anything harmful outside of the cell. So cytoplasm. This is the fluid that fills a cell. So cytoplasm is a gel-like fluid, and it's located inside the cell between the gaps of the other organelles. This is where most of the organelles float around in. And it's also located between the cell membrane and the nucleus. The nucleus does have its own type of cytoplasm, although we'll get into that in another video. So the nucleus. This is what most people would generally call the control center, and both animal and plant cells have it. And it's the cell part that controls growth and reproduction. The nucleus is located near the center of the cell and contains all of the cell's chromosomes. So, how do we get energy? Well, the cell that has chloroplast is the plant cell, and this converts light energy into sugars. So that's pretty cool because the plant cell can actually make its own food, so the plants can make their own food. I'm not jealous. Okay, I'm a little jealous, but we do have mitochondria. A chloroplast is a specialized organelle, though, found within plant cells, and it's responsible for carrying out something called photosynthesis. That's what gives it the green pigment that it has, because it reflects light and gives off that green pigment. Mitochondria. This is what we have, although plants do also have this, so they get double the energy, you could say. And this performs gives us energy in something called a process called cellular respiration, in which nutrients are broken down and turned into energy the cell can use in the form of ATP. And the cell's mitochondria are membrane-bound organelles found in most of the eukaryotic cells in the cytoplasm. The Golgi apparatus turns combinations of molecules into new, more complex structures and then sends them out of the cell or stores them. So this is basically just your Amazon warehouse. It can sort and store proteins that the endoplasmic reticulum makes and send it to where it's needed in the cell or outside of the cell. And it's a stack of small flat sacs formed by the membrane. What's the vacuole? Now, this is in both plant and animal cells, although animal cells do have many small vacuoles, whereas plant cells have one large central vacuole. So, vacuoles are found in both plant and animal cells, but they are larger in plant cells. They're called the central vacuole, and the vacuole is a storage bubble, and it's a fluid-like pack that stores all the nutrients, waste, and other materials that the cell needs to survive. So what are ribosomes? Ribosomes are small organelles that build long chains of amino acids, or the building blocks of proteins for the cell. And these ribosomes are actually attached to the endoplasmic reticulum or hover around in the cytoplasm. And they're made inside the nucleus. And ribosomes are both found in plant and animal cells, and they're known as the protein builders of the cell. So the lysosome. This is basically another type of vacuole, and it helps digest and break down food, and the waste it gives it to the vacuole, and all the nutrients it gives it back to the cell in ways that the cell can use. And enzymes are stored here. So that's all of them. And here's a quick tip. This is how a plant and animal cell look. The animal cell is, if you would like to remember, not having a shape. And the plant cell is rigid, so it gives it structure. One significant difference is plant cells have chloroplasts, which animals don't. Plant cells have a central vacuole, which animal cells don't too. And that's all for today's video, and thank you so much for watching if you guys watched until here. And I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button, because it encourages me to make more videos like this. And if you guys also put in any feedback that you have for me, and if you guys put in any comments of what I should do in my next videos, I would really appreciate it. Please do subscribe. Thank you so much for watching again.